Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm going to go over my 3-month review of having the PJ Rollster system. In November, we bought 5 dumpsters and the PJ Rollster trailer. And I'm going to go over kind of the pros and cons I have seen with it so far. Very few cons, but I'll go over kind of how we've done so far. And then we'll go from there, kind of show you unloading it and loading it up, and how that goes. So I'm going to turn the camera around. So currently we have 3 of our bins here. And as you can see, we do have taller sides on one of our bins. I will go over that. That is one of my cons that I see in the PJ system, and I will go over that, like I said. So basically, to unload, make sure your winch is turned on. Take your safety chain, unhook it. Convenient spot to put it is on your spring-loaded pin. Pull your pin out. Handle comes up. The other lock is on the other side. It's connected by the pipe, rod, whatever you want to call it. That way your chain's not just dangling around. That's just a good spot that I found to hook it. You've got a winch controller and a hydraulic controller. So what I found best is to take, when you're unloading it, and I will point out, the best way to go about doing it, we've got 2x10 boards to put under the rollster, or the rollers on the back. That way they don't dig down into the ground, damage customers' property or anything like that. And if it gets muddy or anything else, you've got a solid surface for those to roll in and out of. So basically just hit your up button. And I've found it is best to go all the way up before you start letting out on the winch. And you can see the roller when it starts hitting the board. You did hear the 2 boards that I do have in the dumpster sliding back. And we'll just throw them in there once it's unloaded. And then you go out on your winch. Once you get to almost the back of the board, you're going to want to pull up your vehicle that you pull it with. Speaking of vehicles, I would suggest a 2500 or basically a 3/4 ton or a 1 ton truck to pull this with. The empty bin and the trailer weighs about 6,000 pounds itself. When you start putting about 3,000 to 4,000 pounds of material, you need a good sized truck to pull it with. So I'm gonna set the phone down for a minute and pull forward. It's basically it's a learning curve of how far to pull out. But once you pull forward, you got more room on your board. and it will usually take you a few tries of pulling up to get it where you want it at the end of the board. So like I said once before, you pulled up. Basically, you need to get it all the way at the back of your board, and you gotta raise it up more to get it fully raised for the back end to be of the rollster to be almost sitting on the ground. Alright, gonna pull forward once more. It is a little bit slower this time versus others due to me actually videoing it. We are now completely set down on the ground. One thing I will go over now is once you unhook, you do need to pull forward before you let the rollster down. Need to get a little bit more slack in my cable. I will give you a piece of advice. If you are whatsoever with any winch, do not pull any long distance of cable. Do not pull your bin toward your dumpster. One thing I did find after about the second time of hooking this up, or dropping one off, as you see the D-ring on the dumpster, that's what the clevis hooks to. You also have a D-ring on the inside of the back of the rollster, and that prevents you from having to pull the cable all the way back into the top. So, and then just kind of tighten your cable back up. So you need to be pretty much all the way up. If you can start seeing your tail lights glow on the bottom of the ground, you know you are low and all the way up. So then you take your winch controller start being up. It's gonna be kind of hard to do this and hold the camera at the same time, but we're gonna make it work. Let me see if I can set this up where you can see it. So basically what I'm doing is you're gonna go in and down at the same time. Sometimes you gotta let one catch up to the other. I'm not using wireless remote, so I did have to pull my splack out of that. So you pull it in to where this bar and the latch can release. That locks it in, and then you take your safety chain and lock it in. Be sure to turn off your winch or it will drain the battery. We're gonna load the board up and drop off this dumpster. One thing I did mention, and I'll go ahead and show it to you now. So on most trailers, on most standard dump trailers, you have pockets that you can put a 2x4 down in to extend the sides. Well, on the Rollsters, PJ didn't accommodate that, and they bent the sides over. If you're somewhat decent with tools, you can make the sides larger, basically with a sawzall and a grinding wheel. Probably not the best one that I did, but kind of got the cut at a little bit of an angle. But a 2x10, 14 feet long, 7 feet wide at the front. Got 2 additional brackets in the front, in the middle, to stabilize the middle of it. Gives you an additional